What is going on, y'all? Another day in the garage. I got a couple problems with the 4runner we're gonna address today. We're gonna get right to it. All right, y'all, so our first problem is this driver caliper right here is sticking. So we're gonna get this thing jacked up and try to get a look at it. I got a rebuild kit for it, so should be no problem. So our brand new, straight out of a junkyard caliper has been constantly seizing up on me. I have no clue why that would happen. If it's fresh out of a junkyard, it should be working just fine. Nope. So we're gonna go ahead and get this rebuilt. Shouldn't be a big deal. So as you can see, this thing has just a ton of brake dust on it, so that's great. Probably need to get these turned again because they're getting pretty tore up. I literally can't even turn this right now, so you can see it's literally clamping down right now. And I'm sure that these pads are junk too, so that should be fun. So the first thing I did is I got the brake line off. I just went ahead and hillbilly plugged it real quick. So here we are over on the workbench. As you can see, I'm definitely gonna need new pads. First of all, you can see that they're not wearing very evenly. Kind of slanted like this. This side's pretty thin. This side's a little bit thicker. So I'm gonna start by brake cleaning this off, cleaning it all up and getting those pads out of there, and then we'll take a look at them. So I went ahead and pulled the pads out real quick so we can clean them. You just take your two pins out, pop the clip off, and then they slide right out. As you can tell, these things are pretty corroded and tore up. Also, as you can tell, all the pistons are at different rates. That's just because of the way that it was wearing, all crooked and stuff. But also with those things being all corroded and sticking on me, that doesn't help. As you can see over here on the pads, these things are really, really tore up. So obviously I still have a little bit of groove left, but we'll just go ahead and replace these things because they're trashed.
Brake caliper.
Yes, that is a brake caliper. Nova, up. Up. Good girl. That's good puppies. Alrighty guys, well, it's a nice 70-degree day, so I figured we'd load up the puppies. Load up Brendan. Where are we going?
To the parts store.
We're gonna go to the parts store so I can get those pads, put the paint dry on the caliper real quick, and then we'll be ready to go. Where's Tyler? There she is. What did we get?
We got grease.
We got brake grease. Got a cabin filter for the 2016 4runner. Figure might as well do a quick oil change while we're at it. And we got our nice little pads. Garage Kitty wanted to say hi too. There's the filter. It's pretty dirty. Not sure if it's ever been replaced. It doesn't look terrible, but. All right, so we're back on the caliper here. You can see I took the little rubber boots off. This one definitely seems like the one that's giving me the most grief. I've tried to compress it and it's like hardly budging at all. So that's probably what's going on here, is this one's staying extended, which is giving me that angle, which is causing it to rub really weird and giving me that dragging feeling. But we're gonna take them all apart and rebuild them anyways and see what happens. Well, y'all, this thing's been fighting me and fighting me and fighting me. I got all 3 of them loose, but that one that I was telling you about, it will not budge at all. I have tried lubricating it multiple times. It's been soaking for about an hour. I got the air compressor turned up to 150 PSI, and this sucker will not pop free. So, if anything, these might end up being too corroded and pitted. That one definitely is probably really pitted and probably not going to be serviceable. So y'all, what I'm probably going to do is just go down to O'Reilly's, get another reman and call it good. At least get us by for now. That one's just completely toasted, so there's nothing I can really do about it. Even if I try to polish it up and clean it and grease it, it's probably still going to keep having problems in the future. So we're just going to have to go and start over. It is what it is. But right now I got another little project. The EGR valve has been throwing a coat on me, so I'm gonna try to pop it out and give it a little cleaning and see if that does the trick. We might have to end up pulling the intake and doing a whole bunch of cleaning. We will see. If it ends up being real bad, then we might end up doing an EGR delete, but we will see. I'm gonna try my best just to pop this off and clean it and see where that gets us for now. All right, so got the EGR popped off. As you can tell, it's pretty gross. The other side's looking pretty much the same. Try to get you in there. Does not look good. So you can see rubbing the pick through it. Does not look good. Actually doesn't look too bad. This is a fairly new sensor, but there's definitely a lot of debris blocking it, so I'm sure it wasn't getting a very good reading. All right, so here we are all cleaned up. It's definitely looking a lot better than it was. All right, y'all, it's the next day. We're gonna go ahead and try to get this caliper back together. We already got the EGR valve cleaned up, put back together, so we're pretty much ready to rock. I went and stopped at the parts store on my way back from work. Here we are. Sucker looks brand new. Went ahead and picked up some new windshield blades as well. Got a whole lot of rain and weather coming. It's gonna be on the rainy season for the next couple months, so wanted to be prepared. So here we are with the new caliper all on. Brand new pads. We'll see how this rotor ends up doing. If it starts squeaking on me, then we'll end up popping it back off and getting it turned. We're all hooked up. I'm about to have to bleed them. Here we are on the passenger side. Great thing is, I don't know if a lot of y'all know, but I did the brake upgrade on this to Tacoma rotors. Just gotta slide the pads out the back. First take the 2 pins out, slide them out the back. Grab your new ones and slip them right in. All right, I got this side all together. And then I looked over here and I remembered that I cracked the bleeder to let it start doing its thing. And it did its thing all over the floor. I think I might have caught it before all of it bled out. We will see. Probably doing lots of brake bleeding now. Quick oil change. How many of you SAS swap guys love taking the oil filter out and just spilling it all over the place? I have no idea if there's a better way of doing it, but I think it's just a 22RE thing. It just spills no matter what you do. Alright, let's try to see if we can make it with no funnel at all. Oh yeah. Sure hope we put the drain plug in. Boom. Not a single drip. How you do it, boys?
Hi, y'all. He's gonna bleed the brakes. With my help.
Wow. So like she said, we got the tube hooked up, got the 10 mil, gonna start bleeding them, see how many air bubbles we created. Alrighty, so we bled the brakes. We're gonna take this thing for a quick test drive, see how it feels, and then check everything over. We'll see how it does now that we cleaned out the EGR. I sprayed a crap ton of brake cleaner and stuff in the intake. I've let it settle for several hours now, but it still might fire up funny. We'll see. So for whatever reason, something happened to some of my videos that I just recorded and they got deleted or corrupt or something. Not really sure, so I'm gonna catch y'all up real quick what's going on. So basically, the top pin and the bottom pin were so corroded and rounded off, I couldn't get them out hardly at all. So I had to cut them out into little pieces and hammer them out both ways. And then finally I was able to get the pads out. I put the new pads in. I took it for a quick test drive after bleeding the brakes, and this side, this caliper seized up too. It's not doing hardly anything. I think like one or two of the pistons like diagonally are the only ones doing anything. So I just said screw it and went ahead and bought a new one. There's those two pads on the table. These are brand new pads. I literally just drove around the block and you can see they're wearing very funny. That means those pistons weren't going equally how they're supposed to. All right, so we got the line all hooked up. We're gonna pump 3 times. I'm gonna crack it and then we're gonna be looking for bubbles in the hose as it comes down. I've already gravity bled it here a little bit. This time I paid attention to it and didn't make a ginormous puddle, so that's good. Pump 3 times. So as you can see, this reman one is junk too. It's literally leaking at the seam and just dripping everywhere. So that's just really good. This side they gave me a brand new one. And here's the reman. Let's hope we get a brand new one on this next go around. Well, here's another one. See how this one does. Well, y'all, we're cruising again. The brakes seem to be working great. We're stopping dead straight now. No more pulling. Cruise right down the highway. We're stopping on a dime, so I'm super happy with that. We'll do a brake test here in just a second, kind of show y'all how it's looking. All right, we're on a pretty uneven road here. We're only going like 30, so we'll see. So as you can see, we're stopping pretty straight. Not really having any problems. So I'm happy with that. Check engine light's still on. We got a few more kinks we're gonna have to work through. I think the throttle adjustment screw O-ring is going out. So y'all, that's gonna do it for today's video. I appreciate y'all watching. Make sure you go ahead and hit a like and a subscribe for me. Been doing lots of hard work on these vehicles. Hopefully lots more fun content coming as we get this thing ironed out. I got a drive shaft coming that we're gonna extend so we can finally get off-road. Super excited about that. Make sure you drop a comment and let me know what you think of the video. If you guys have any upcoming video requests that you want to see, anything, questions about my 4Runner or the Ford, let me know. But make sure, no matter what, guys, you get these rigs out there, you keep working on them. Even when O'Reilly's is out there killing you with 15 of the wrong parts, or AutoZone keeps giving you junk parts that break right away, do whatever you got to do to keep these rigs out there and living for Jesus.